안도 가서 가르쳐 버려라나 전주 선바 남기 당보 냠는 제도 갑라 간스나와래라나 다유네 두진전 요몽 차단 요소 요몽게 유래 내래 되바이나 되는 아주 쉬냠는 제와라 바시 용고레스 디네 인자네 냠네 야고 중요하려야 안 되지네 엠바테 네 엠바테제 어두시네 냠네 나와레스 지자네 엠바테 바이나 가르쳐 버려서네 아니 지게 미기 통야다 암주의 냐야 자다 대가지 왕보 주의 아니 지게 지게 로에 라소바당 류자자 라소바 디네를 미비게 차바 게야 돼 아니 용고 말레스 아니 디메바 마제 아니 류다 나요거네 샹라 지주시야다 준시야다 참마시야다 아니 지게 어두시네 리유권에 류가 이유권에 사베 개와디게는 용주고래 제가 디네자 수중에 라바디게 야고진염네 지투고래스 지나 수중 라바냠네 개와디게 강게 표현도 디네 수중에 라바 시지 딩에진레 제주 미제 딩에지 고면도 아니 딩에진디게 라바디게 딩에진 시네디게 뉴르도게야당 다 디네게 개와이나 디네 리바 세보 당바 차유도 아니 지게 다음에 발라서바다 디네게 남샤 제바지도 량이게 남샤 제바지도 집에 셰랍되게 야고래제 되는 냠나 야고지 두고 제자인자 이내 엠바드는 냠난지도 아니 딩에 가서 라바스미 냠난디베 야고지 두고래스 되는 인자 자주세만은 당보 되는게 엠바데 당보 냠난지도 갑라 네 엠바데 두스 냠난지 되는 냠난지네 아니 자주셈 귤라기에 사네 자주셈 바차 차위 제라 아니 가르는 것은 되는 양 마 아니 지소난 마페 아니 전에 생기 디기 주야다 동아세야 아니 전에야 최대야게 베데니게 샹라 제위 왕기 안생기 생기 동아세야 디기 주야 된다라는 최대야다는 냠면 제주도 스네 베스난 거래진 제주스만은 이dun에 베스 나와래 지단디 게세 라레레스 게세 전주선바디게 디네 냠는 디네 나와래스 그러고 진짜 디네 장하주 있네야 다당 하주리야 개와지 얘기 듬버여봐 아니 냠는 지게 돈이기 듬버 유디 qabla 디네기니 엠바 두싱을 파지 파샤제 네 tos 엠바로시다 디네기 땡진 두싱 메살라 뇽모께서기 매외 유 내래 내제는 하주 있냐나 후다 바다 지제 안두체베네 마주이네 전주스바 니마 전주스바 남냠년치다 나와 나시쟁아서 되는 제고래서 가성한서 안디고래야 시시사시
Good morning. Yesterday we continued to look at this marvelous text on the 37 practices of bodhisattvas. And within the section that all the beings who have generated bodhicitta and have arisen as bodhisattvas themselves, they engage in the very practices that we are looking at right now. The practices that we looked at yesterday where the practitioner has given rise to a strong wish to generate bodhicitta in themselves, have given rise to a determination to become a bodhisattva. They look at the environment they find them that they are in right now, and they look with honesty and determine whether this is an ideal environment for the generation of bodhicitta, or whether it impedes the generation of bodhicitta. And to discern this, they look around them, they investigate, both look around them and investigate their mind and see, are they surrounded by objects that lead to the ready or the easy ripening of afflictions, the easy ripening of powerful afflictions, and the abiding of these afflictions. And if this is the case, that they see they are surrounded by objects of the senses, objects of sight, of sound, of taste, touch and smell, that lead to the ready abiding, arising of afflictions and their lengthy abiding, then this is not an ideal place for the generation of bodhicitta. And they rather change their environment. They change their environment, making it into one that is isolated or secluded, meaning it is secluded from these objects that lead, the objects of the senses that lead to the easy arisal and abiding of the afflictions. And having changed the environment to one that is more isolated, having retreated to solitude, there, naturally, the afflicted minds gradually diminish due to the lack of the objects of the senses. And secondly, the engaging in non-virtue naturally decreases because they are now in an isolated place. There isn't anyone suitable to lie to or to deceive. And therefore, their application to virtue, their accumulation of virtue, is aided by the diminishing of the afflictions and the diminishing of non-virtue. So this is how an aspirant bodhisattva trains. And moreover, having gone to isolation, because their afflictions are weakening, their non-virtue is weakening, they practice the higher training of ethical conduct. This is naturally enhanced. Therefore, the mind of restraint, the mind of ethical conduct, readily grows stronger. And as their training in the practice of ethical conduct grows, they are developing the basis upon which the second of the higher trainings is based. The second of the three higher trainings is that of concentration. It has as a prerequisite the training in ethics, because it's ethics which subdues the mind, makes the mind ready to develop concentration and special insight. With this basis having been achieved now in isolation, the aspirant bodhisattva cultivates concentration. Concentration itself, the second higher training, is the basis in dependence upon which the third higher training can be cultivated, that of wisdom. So therefore we see that the aspirant bodhisattva, with honesty, looking at their environment, seeing whether it's conducive or not to the generation of bodhicitta, retreats to a place of solitude, a place which is ideal for the cultivation of the three higher trainings, and generating these, they too generate bodhicitta. And once the aspirant is no longer an aspirant but is an actual bodhisattva, and the bodhicitta that has arisen within their continuum now being uncontrived is developed to the point where it's stable, then the bodhisattva, in order to enact the bodhisattva aspirations, re-enters society and now engages with others with a love that is free from partiality, with a love that is free from attachment and self-interest, and engages with others. And these beneficial activities that this being is now able to engage in are quite different from beneficial activities that us ordinary beings can engage in due to their love, compassion and wisdom, and thereby they can have an impact of great meaning on the lives of others. And all the difficult circumstances that before hindered the cultivation of virtue, the cultivation of the three trainings and bodhicitta, these now, because of the great power of the bodhicitta within the mind of the bodhisattva, these serve to ever strengthen their bodhicitta and their wisdom. And thereby, with ever-growing skill, they can directly engage in acts that bring great benefit to others. So this is how bodhisattvas, aspirant bodhisattvas practice, and this is how all bodhisattvas have practiced. So we ourselves, who are hearing this teaching, we have a wish to accumulate virtue, the causes of happiness. We have the wish to transform ourselves, transform our way of thinking, to live a life of great meaning. So therefore, we should practice like the bodhisattvas. With honesty, look at our lives and separate ourselves from the objects that easily lead to the arisal of the afflictions such as attachment and anger and confusion. And rather, ensure that we reside in a place where these are minimized and thereby we aid the cultivation of bodhicitta.
Dine zanda ni ba Bendigo research kasanti sheche. Da dine ki da dilia Dorje nala ni emba ten ki temba ina ani kanes ko resne di keshu ma chi sum do de Dorje ma. 내가 숨고라서는 delya ni kanes ko resne kanes ko lamna dela keshu kanes ko resne ni emba temba ni emba chi do de ba mi Bendigo resne di an di ma re shere ni emba de ten ko resne ni emba ten ni dela ni emba de keshu de ni ko resne 숨고라 da ga jele di do na chi de Dorje nala ya le den gang da zu bi yu le ba ni da ni sa na sa sang wa da zhuo sang dang na jue de wi yun dian dian sa on du sung de.
We've heard about the faults of staying somewhere where our afflictions readily arise and the need to retreat to a secluded place. But what are the qualities of a secluded place? What makes a secluded place ideal for the three higher trainings to be cultivated and bodhicitta itself to be generated? Well, this is presented in the ornament of Mahayana Sutras. Whomever amongst the wise gets a proper place of accomplishment, a wholesome place without thieves and the like, a healthy place without disease, and wholesome friends, and this is in the sense of view and conduct, will possess the qualities of yogic bliss. So I'll read it again. Whomever amongst the wise gets a proper place of accomplishment, a wholesome place, a healthy place, and wholesome friends will possess the qualities of yogic bliss.
That ganis ko resne le den gang da zu bi yu se de dang a zu le den se de ya ane tarba ta tamje kimbi yu go pon tobar de ne del ya de ni dumba yu ba che lo ane ya tarba tamje kimba toba de bi nyamlen je de dumba yu hen de le den si gore de ni ge le den nyamlen dumba yu hen de ne emba chi le den je gang da zu bi yu se de ne emba den je ne emba de ya nyamlen je bi ne yu de la ha se gore da di jeza yu de la 다 유들에 가nes 고고래라는 안 될이야. 기슈드마 딘딘 고고래서 기슈드마 시고래.
The first line, whomever amongst the wise gets a proper place of accomplishment. This then, the wise here refer to those who have given rise to the strong determination to attain liberation. So here they have the strong wish to become liberated from suffering, and in order to do so, they've recognized what is impeding them, and they are now determined to resolve those impediments and rather to attain ideal circumstances. And these ideal circumstances are what is meant by place of accomplishment. So the first line, whomever amongst the wise gets a proper place of accomplishment.
Lakbar Niedang, Sido, Lakbar Nieda, Nesadas, Lakbar Niedan, Sido Kalorosan, Tanga Ne Emba Yamnja, Julius and Betar, Bushu, Mimelu, Suji Mevachilia, Dujabana, Kala Raela, Kalehawa Shagres, Chesa, Kala Raela, Kalehawa Yobaina, Tanga Kala Marabana, Yamne, Com Yamne, Chetu Mares, and Zugasu, Supu Soho, Subuya was core, and Yamne Yawachebala, Subuya was core, Tian Subuya core, Chesa Tian Subuya Wall, and Anzo Kalala Soho, Radanzo, dead, Anzo Kala Sane, Kala Soho, and Sa, Chesa Kala de Yawini Tumar, Diniza, Nietela, Gina near Imba Chilia. Kala Rayaki, the nigger hell, does lay large couriers, Labarnier, acid, Kala Rayala, Tum Deoda, and the jiggle large couriers, just a Labarnier, so that the niggy. On that the niggy twinky, down the Kalaji twinky, and do Lola Soba, the niggy and so Kajile, Com Yamlen Chevala, twinking go ahead to get us Rael and lay large core mother, Kaleka when they had $10 tar work as a color draw to the Dimania of the Lobsang Dorje, Yamlen Chela, Bashi Chagores, and it Dineza, and the twinking. Da Kalada, the Nigit Holia, Radike, those lay large couriers and Labarnier dance in the Yapot near Ganguedi, on the near Yahuch near to Yash couriers or near dance.
first line then, whomever amongst the wise is referring to those who desire liberation. And they then seek to get a proper place of accomplishment. And this then, the proper place of accomplishment, is a secluded place, an isolated place where liberation can be achieved. So what are the features then of this place of accomplishment, or an isolated place, a place of solitude? Here then the verse continues with the next line, a wholesome place. So what is then meant by a place that is wholesome? Well, if we think of somewhere that is isolated, we will immediately conjure an image of a place that is far away from others, far away from the hustle and bustle of life, far away from other people and the distractions that are brought by city life and interactions not of great meaning with others. But for a place to be wholesome, it's not sufficient merely to be isolated. If one is too far away from others, too far away from society, one will encounter other obstacles, other impediments to the cultivation of bodhicitta within oneself, the cultivation of the three trainings within oneself. Because if one is too far away, too isolated, too secluded, it will be very difficult to get food. And if one is not able to sustain this body, one's mind will be distracted, one's body will weaken, and one's ability to cultivate virtue will be greatly hindered. Moreover, if one is too isolated, the other resources that one needs for one's place of practice to be as conducive, these will also be difficult to get. So if one retreats to an isolated place that is too secluded, then one ends up having to travel far and wide to attain the resources such as food and clothing and whatever else one needs to sustain one's abode. And this serves as a great impediment. So one needs a wholesome place where these can be found with great ease. And therefore one is able to sustain one's body and not be distracted by trying to attain our material requirements.
Denegi nie lawas kuri sidi ande wa lega dosa tanya wo ja lega raya la le la bu re se disigo mar so su ki khala ra ga to na lega le bane ya lega le de bane nyam ne che ko bra go mar sa nie lawa sidi denegi so so rang ra le ya ane twin jin ro che kan de ji khala in de to to le ya ro che de nie le lawas kuri so da ring bu de ba na de ne mi xin na ju ta ring bu shu na de ne de ne khala ro che kan ka le kha bu ha ku ma de ge ha ko na ta ring bu ne ro che le ka le kha bu cha ro che sa de ne yin ba ji la de ne ge ro che kan ya bu yu kan ta ni wo de so so ge de ne ge le la sa yu sa ji le ya ka she le de ne ge ji ge suen yin pu ya de ro ju ne je ge de ba me de ge lu ba ro chi de to ba na ya de ne ge ro che ge me za nyam le ya ko hu ma che sa nyam ne ji du ne yin ba de ne ge di ni ho le ya na ma ju ge这个写了普遍的那个如果这个要我你过来时候的那个然后结清不的的时候你老话说的。
And furthermore, if one is so the meaning here is not to be so isolated that you cannot sustain yourself, but that doesn't mean that one needs to be somewhere where one can easily get work, earn some money, and then buy what one needs. That's also not the purpose of going into isolation. Rather, one needs to be somewhere where one has companions, those who will assist and aid one, but not hinder one. One needs to be not so secluded that those who want to offer support, who want to make offerings to you, for example, are able to do so. Not that one is so isolated that they have the wish, but they are not able to fulfill that wish. So therefore, whilst one needs to be isolated, one still needs to have the support of others. And to have the support of others, one needs to be at a place that is both isolated from the places where our afflictions readily arise, but not so isolated that we can't receive the support that we require.
kuma yoyagi nyanga mangbo yaji kala de sevena cho chero jene sa me ba dulo de sna cho chero kuma ku chero ba ne yaji ba che chegoro wa jisan dini go kuma dini go yosa dini ki me de kan ro jita an ya 지금 semje 주유다 진생라 소비게 소라 냥아기 되네기 여바이나 야디야 바시 책을 전에 되네 메바사지 고리에스데 구마다 되네 진세다 sem제기 뇌세메 되겐 되네기 안에 직사 되네지 고리에스다 네 되네지 고리에스 오래.
Furthermore, a suitable place for practice needs to be a place freed from danger to one's life. If one is somewhere where there are gangs of criminals roaming, that would be a place of great danger. They may steal what little one has or harm oneself. Likewise, if one has retreated to an isolated place, but there are dangerous animals there like lions and tigers, this is not a place that's conducive for retreat, because such places, one's life is in danger.
Dine sasangwa sida sasangbo sida dian saji de la sa tembu ro ko re chere because sa tembu mena dine ya chik chawa kyab de chulo ma lu sho cho da dine gi yo ba ne yang so la ba she da nya nyam che ya ya gang a ti ko che sa dine gi chu lu ya da ma sa lu ya da chu mo bo ni yo ya ge ya ga la chawa kyab de chu ge gang a de ya da yang ji sama lu che sa gi chala do chi de sa de gang a de ya da dine jo ba na ya ji ge ma zo nyam che ya la ba shi che ko re dine me ba ane chawa kyab ne chulogi nyanga me de sa ji lu ya ge nyanga me de sa ji tembu ro shi ti ko go re se zan de sa sang wa se dine chi ko re je re.
And furthermore, this place needs to be somewhere where one is not only freed from dangers posed by sentient beings, but also from the natural environment. If it's a place that's prone to flooding, or it's a place where sometimes due to heavy rain, landslides happen, this is of course very dangerous. Also, if one goes somewhere that is renowned for earthquakes, this too is not a suitable place to be isolated.
지게 추 조바조다 사제 남바로시나 델레데네 네 나자 망볼레 여기 나자 포야기 둠디고 사제라 용구로와 니네이나 야 지수냠는 제라 바셰레 가르스노 네 나자 레치는 냠는 지투 마치사 사지텔라데네 사치 조바다 데네기 네 나자 야고 요고 레투야기 데네기 용하야기 사지루시나 니네 메바치고 고리해지레 사상세야데.
And furthermore, if the place has is not clean in the sense that illness can easily be caught there, whether from mosquitoes or from water that is dirty. If one can easily get ill there, this is not a suitable place to be isolated.
다 조사와 고그레지레 다 조사와 고그레시디 나는 저기 저 냠는 집이 갑라 다야지기 소소 조상고 고고래 조변에 소소기 다야지기 칼라 튕긴디와 로버치겐레 안지기 떼스 마디와로 주네 맨다 되니기 지게 네요로 하고 있는 게 제간에 어두스네 조상고 고고래스 안지기 아줄이야 직강한테 되가로 로버치겐 단지 소소기 냠는지 꼼잡디디 갑래 아직 디네리아 안내나서 주나 야 맨주지야 로버치야다 안디와직 고해야되게 소크도도 렌제제야다 안지 누스네 로버치겐 루조사버치고 그래서 안디마세 야직 저기 냠는지바 소소 마싱바다 디네기 너트로 차규나 야기시티사 인게를 마소나 디네 조상보세야 럽된 제겐 안지니 안지 기회신이나 디네 냠도여나 야가래서 월데 디네지나 안 디고 그래서.
So to refer back to the verse, whomever amongst the wise gets a proper place of accomplishment, a wholesome place and a healthy place. So these are two of the qualities we've looked at thus far: a wholesome place and a healthy place. Then a third quality is wholesome friends. A wholesome place, a healthy place, wholesome friends. So wholesome friends are required, or we could say ethical friends, friends of benefit. So this refers to has two aspects. Those who give material support, in other words, those who will make offerings of food, and those who can help us overcome unexpected problems. For example, if we become ill and we require a medication, or if in our environment something has unexpectedly happened and we need supplies that we wouldn't have otherwise expected, someone that will readily be able to provide us with this material support. And wholesome friends then has a second meaning too, and that is, unless one has prior gained certainty with regard to the topic that one is meditating, then one is likely to encounter some obstacles in one's meditation. So therefore it is ideal if one is in a place of seclusion with one's spiritual teacher, because then when one is experiencing some obstacles or has some doubt, one can ask the Supreme Guide, one can gain unmistaken support and guidance from one's spiritual teacher. So the third quality, that of wholesome friends, has these two components.
lungi xingda de nege ge mang wo jia da de ngu wa de ne je be ne ge chou de je be ne an de le ya ma zhen ding ge gong ba la sem nam ya cha ye ba shi cha ge res di me be ya ji dam de ba chu ro sa cha chen chu ge shu ji de ne ma sa chu ro ji de le de ge ro ge ro xue be ne de ne ne ya ding ge gong ba la ba shi ji ge nam ya ge che ding ge zhen zi chu de gong ya la ba shi ji ge che san de ne ge me ba be ne de le ya ja da ri da da ge chou me ba lung ge xing ge ji lung da chou me ba chu zha da de ne ge chou me de ne ge sa chi gu ri je le.
Purpose of retreating to solitude was to get away from the objects of the senses that lead to the arisal of afflictions. So now one has retreated to solitude, and these objects are greatly reduced. But a further feature that a suitable place of solitude requires is that the various sounds of the natural environment, these also need to be very few, because these can serve as great distractions to the mind when trying to cultivate calm abiding. So if one is in a place, a secluded place, where all one can hear are the sounds of nature, but these sounds are perhaps loud and disturbing, such as if one's near a waterfall or a fast-flowing river, or if it's a place where there's strong wind that makes a lot of noise, or a place where there are lots of sounds from the wildlife, whether it's birds chirping or other forms of wildlife. Here in the secluded place, those sounds become amplified, and they serve then as a distraction. They serve to distract the mind, when the mind is particular, when one is trying to cultivate calm abiding, one is struggling to develop a mind that is stable and undistracted.
Alright, that in it. All those here. That is a near Emba Sidu, that Emba love do Zhong Le Zu Tar Hua the Nigi and Jigge Jada, Gijada, Guma So, that the Nigi such a Denigi made you can Emba, this Emba Sidu, the Nigi Bajet, Meva Sigur, Emba Ladu, Dongwala, Meva Lagor, Jida mi mangbo sanga sing meba ane jige sukcha mara thoya meduken data mara nya meduken rota mara nyoya meduken an jige chomgon la soba jensen la soba da jaki chobo denigi meduken sache deni chasa meduken sache sela deni embassy or ni embassy ne denigi kyen bashi kyen digi meba de sigoro deni chikure deni jilia nyamne chekore sa nyama chaji sympathike dangbo nyamne ju dus naware ngaro ine nyamne ju deni jilia jik dang jewa de gechi more sungora
So these are the features of the place of solitude: a wholesome place, a healthy place, wholesome friends. And then the person amongst the wise who wishes for a proper place of accomplishment, who possesses such a place, as a place where the qualities of yogic bliss can be generated. So this term isolation or solitude, an isolated place, what it refers to is a place that is isolated from the busyness of city life, a place that is isolated from the objects that lead to the arisal of our afflictions. So a place that is isolated from all the various experiences that one has in one's life, or regular life, or one's ordinary life, the experiences that in the ordinary life that one longs for, or the things that may want to buy, or the pleasant things one wants to hear or see. So one is isolated from these. So this is a meaning of isolated in terms of a place of isolation, a place of solitude. And those who aspired with great determination to generate bodhicitta, they went to such a place of solitude, and they sought out an ideal place, and they there strove single-pointedly to generate or cultivate the three trainings and bodhicitta itself.
아니 엠바지를 되어봐이네 샘데 엠바치 구고르마도 샘 엠바 마이나 다네 엠발 되나 이제 제라기 냠는지 두고 말해. 지사 that's 네 엠바디니치레 바시 데니 메바지를 되어봐이네 샘데 남에 파직 정견 마 친제 오당아디지 델야 정견들 지치제고도 강반에 되니요 총원아 되니요 델바 조고도 디제고 니디 모싱바디 분야디네 두시 삼다데 네 엠바나 되시 되니기 삼다 되어봐이나 다 되서디 네 엠바치를 되되 샘디 엠바 차이마 샘디 가제갈 점리나 고라게 참되고로 진짜 디네 자 냠내 야고치도 말했어 진짜 디나시 인자 네 엠반데 바나시 샘디야 디니 콜 균에 삼마다제 소소라라기데 곰 냠는지에 그최 냠는지에 다가랑 디랑 삼다마도 샹다기 니수토로 삼마다제 다가랑 냠내랑 코로진바들 삼다디 대나 준리치네 냠는 제고를 마도 아니 samno nalaya punja da nyense da denigi and chechala do da zemlu koryu da ngadin ma samju dresen del ma champion dugin da sa da odini dine dugin du sigin sambe dine cheche mangwo dina and de data chago ma chesa denigi kune samda gyo ma res or da ne emba le de ba na sem emba chi ko res chesa ne emba le de sem de emba me ba na ngadu lu de zhanga na zu da ba chi ba re chi ga sa de kale khar zhanga na zu ba sem de lu de zhanga na 샘데 다마라 섬 두고로 와지사 정가나 주바다 직발해서 제가 디네자 네 엠발을 되바나시 샘다 남명파까제 아니 소수게 냠는 제기 델야 데랑 삼다제 디제주도 삼 델레 베주시고래 마도 아니 샤나기 남명제기 샘 율리아 삼다교 말해죠 그래 다 디네시고에 기치 못 채고래
Having looked then at what is a suitable place of isolation, we have then discussed physical isolation. First, the need to physically isolate oneself, and what is a suitable place of physical isolation. But achieving physical isolation itself is not the goal. It's a required support, but it's not the goal. Achieving physical isolation but not using it skillfully. This is an error that practitioners, certainly beginners, can easily fall into. So one can imagine going somewhere that's in solitude, somewhere conducive to training, but one's habit patterns, one's ways of thinking come with one. And one sits there with a busy mind, thinking about all kinds of things that one is most habituated to. Thinking about, I wonder what's happening in my business or my place of work that I've left. I wonder what's happening with my home. If the sale has gone through well, or the people who are renting it, is it going well? These kinds of busy thoughts. Thinking about your family and friends. I wonder what they're doing, wonder how they are, I wonder what they're saying about me. All these kinds of thoughts. So congratulations, the practitioner has achieved physical isolation, but they're not utilizing it. They need they need self-discipline, because what really is required is independence on the basis of physical isolation. The mind needs to be isolated. Mental isolation needs to be achieved. So physical isolation is a required support, but Buddhist training is about, or Buddhist practice is about transforming the mind through training. Therefore, mental isolation is required. Isolation from the busyness and distraction that dominates our mind right now. This mental isolation is being isolated from those discursive forces, these ruminations. And it's through self-discipline that we'll be able to transform the mind through our Buddhist trainings. So the purpose of physical isolation is to mentally isolate and thereby gain great skill in our training.
준주 첨번하래 되는 손도와 대der 되라 교제대 엠발라네 가와케스. 그래서 대der 되라 교제대 엠발라네 가와케스도 대der 되라 시도 아니
Another quotation, brief quotation I want to share is from Shantideva's Way of Life of Bodhisattvas. Thus, having generated wariness for desire, generate joy for isolation.
코와라야 닝보 민두 sembe 코와 될 탈고도 란전 참아 코와래 탈고도 sembe 코와라 교시제대 내중 탈되게 삼바게네 다 되니게 탈이 된다라 양이 네 엠바 가서래 된제 곰냠래 야고지 sembe게 된여기 듬바게제 안 되니지 네 엠바래 된제 네 엠바 된제 냠내제 빼마서 야고래 선델야 가와게 안 될야 안 네 엠바래 된제 안 대시 손바 셰바 나시 아니 라미기 냠는 지들 나와 되는 난고래서 까 나와 나시 이제 마주가 만나와지 냠는 제거되 계신 버려서 손거와.
Thus, having generated wariness for desire, generate joy for isolation. Wariness for desire means wariness for the delights of samsara. The delights of samsara are all these samsaric, perhaps we can, samsaric things, samsaric objectives, everything that we desire that is within the realms of samsara, whether it's material, whether it's our wishes, having things go our own way and so forth. Having come to understand that everything that is bound within samsara has no essence, has no true value, is not worthy of all the physical and mental energy that are put into it. Having come to see that samsara itself is deceptive and is not worthy of my energy and of our energy, one becomes wary for this perpetual desire for one thing after the other, for always wanting things to go our way, not wanting to meet the unwanted, having this object and that object, seeing that this is a continuous cycle, seeing that we go from birth to birth to birth, we get wary for this, and we start to develop the wish to be freed from this. And this, in other words, we're progressing towards the generation of the mind of definite emergence. And as this grows within us, the wish to be freed from this continued cycle of uncontrolled rebirth in realms of suffering, we think about retreating to isolation, retreating to a place of solitude, because the place where we can put into practice, the place where we can follow the advice of our teachers. In other words, all the teachings we've received, we can reflect on them precisely in accordance with how we have been taught. And here we give rise to delight, for joy towards being able to retreat to such solitude, isolate ourselves, not just physically but mentally, through applying the advice, following the advice of our teacher. So this is the meaning of this line, these two lines from the Bodhisattva's way of life. Thus, having generated wariness for desire, generate joy for isolation.
당연히 미다바 공부그래스 미다바 삼당제 아니 체디zam기 아니 체디zam의 신비기 원 신비 원게 아니 자와디기 파 뢰고 뢰당고그래스 체 뢰당고그래스 디고 마셔야다.
Now coming to the fourth of the practices of bodhisattvas, that which is mindfulness of impermanence. So the purpose of this practice is to give up our preoccupation with this life.
That's it. You read Robe, Zashe Sosorjal, Baby Drube, Norze, Shudu, Lugu drink, Namshi Drumbi Bor, Sedi Lutan Geshe Lalins.
Loved ones long acquainted must all go their separate ways. Wealth and possessions painstakingly acquired must be left behind. Consciousness, the guest lodging in the body, must too depart. Giving up preoccupation with this life is the practice of bodhisattvas.
Karchigore labna danganzo ki ya ami ki ne ya ngazo mashibado zemli nala ya michasa re anechike semjen dunroje ne re ngazo mi na re dunroje na re ki ne mashibado karchigore soso ki ane sayagi soso ya chetigi so digi tuyagi dandala chetigi digi kudo sembe digi samtache indi dandala ngazo ki 지게 량망고 레다 사야도 여기 둘로 체도 칼라게 체도 안에 되니게 아직 체도 되니 제어도 안 밀이야 갸선셰야 소수기 되버주 디기주에 된다라 미고 활다야 안에 셴레 투제다야 안 되니게 지게 망고 지지고레스 량망고 리고레스 안 디마세 안지 소수기 당야기 둘로당 안에 세당 차상 강발라서 예제 차상 유해나양 니기 촉마셔봐 너무 디행하고 딜행하고 마음을 지야 지 두스전에 두삼다 안 되니스 소수이 디게 줘야야 신고고 따야래 작선 시야래 신로 톱제 따야래 구마고야래 디마선에 신래 마제 신 소좀제 초 쇠야래 디네 차상도 레가다 말하지는 가슴질이야 등한 저기 시네 안에 소소라야 조두고로 와서 그래서 차상다 되니기 레가레기 차상 체디zam기 안에 지게 디기 된다래야 즉 되니기 레가다 말래제 랑라 뇌바 현의 뇌비게 자와 빠도메 바치고레스 디조 안디니 제바디 노트체고레스 지사디 디네제마도 깨와 치매게 된다래야 안디 하다 미고 본토야 깨마 치와 디기 깨와 치말라 디기 야야게 된다라 아주 비치치 투고 말레스 지난디 삼노 코고 말레세레 지난디 삼노 마고와디 가르체바레 람나 미다베고 삼마타 말레스 미다바 삼마젠바 인자 안 디인자 먼저 삼노 콜마토 바레지레
What is being presented here in this verse is a description of how all ordinary beings, whether human or non-human, tend to live their lives. So from the moment of birth, throughout one's lifespan, until death comes, all ordinary beings, again, whether human or animal or other form of non-human, what preoccupies their mind continuously, and therefore their speech and their activities, is how to achieve happiness in this life. So beings think about having delicious food, having a nice clothing, somewhere nice to live, comfortable possessions, being of good health, all of these kinds of things. How to achieve them, and how nice it is to have them. It's these thoughts that dominate us. And with these thoughts dominating us, then those thoughts get expressed and we engage in all these activities that we do. We put a lot of energy into our work so as to acquire money. We gain ever more training and skills for our work so that we can earn more money and get promoted so that we can achieve happiness in this life. This leads to the consumption of all our energy. Ensures we come home and we're exhausted. It ensures that throughout the day this is what we think about, and then we come home and that's what we continue to think about. How to achieve happiness in this life, how to overcome the problems of this life. And within this, no space to think about spiritual practice. Moreover, in addition to this, in order to achieve the happiness of this life and overcome problems of this life, beings engage in a wide number of non-virtuous activities. They may kill others, harm others, steal from others, take advantage of others. In other words, they put their needs, we put our needs first and foremost. And most activities, the impact of others, the impact of our activities on others is not seen as important because we are striving for our happiness first and foremost, and our happiness of this one mere life, our immediate happiness, our immediate overcoming of problems. So coming from this way of thinking, not only does it lead us to engaging dominate our way of thinking and dominate therefore our physical and verbal behavior, as well as secondly creating so much non-virtue, it has the result of us not thinking about how to achieve the happiness in our future lives. Are we engaging in accumulating the causes that lead to happiness in the future lives and eliminating previously accumulated causes that will lead to suffering in future lives? This hardly comes to mind. And when it does, it's weak, it's transitory. So this we need to recognize within ourselves in order to be able to transform it. We need to recognize how pervasive it is within ourselves in order to be able to transform it. And how to do so? It's a meditation that's presented here, the meditation on impermanence.
Gyudan tangpo gyudan kenchi le tene keche kewane kewane sonde lamsang keche yuwa dhugo res yuwa dhugo ane ka tama chilya gyune meba zao yine meba cha ka dhugo res chisa dene kichi chila midakwa se achi dene shila go res chida midakwa se dene la go res chire.
Meditation on impermanence being the way to transform our way of thinking and transform how we live our life. We then need to understand clearly what is meant by impermanence. If something is impermanent, it means it came about in dependence on causes and conditions. And being impermanent and having come about in dependence on causes and conditions, it means it will arise, but immediately it will change. It will change moment by moment by moment. Not observable to us necessarily, but it changes momentarily. Being impermanent, come about in dependence on causes and conditions, and therefore changes momentarily. And thirdly, it will therefore cease, be destroyed, die. So this is the meaning of something being impermanent. It's come about in dependence on causes and conditions, changes momentarily therefore, and therefore it will eventually be destroyed.
Dini inza an mitaba dini lagyo na dang zu mitaba samtang de dang zu le mitaba de kan samtang go re lamna jidang zu gi chilo ya an be medo ro chin dang bo nyugu chungchung ya ya che cha an che wo cha ne medo ya sha an medo di pa jing zewo ning ju cha nen yang medo pa sha che yu che le ya gili ning ba che gang zam ji ya ma kam din medo ma sa sha ni gang zam ji le medo sing dong bo lo mo di gi ya se wo cha Kamboja, dine kanzam jile meto tomo diye ma ri, 마리체 아니 로하시 제라 다와다 로하시 제라 로마디에 파 다르제 삼제 토야메 동보디야 토야메 진의 유인의 토야메 차르고도 와서 진짜 미다바세 되는시지 아주 치용어 볼래 레라와 삼다는 되는시스 되는시 동도 되네 미다바래 가서 기류걸 규단 kiến起来 되네 기워래 대야야 체메도샤 되네 규단 kiến 차위게 죄다 되네 메도데 마닝바차 되네 마삼 되네 두신 메바차르고도 와서 되네게 삼다라 된아주 직가주 통치수 여바디 지금 넘긴데 통치고를 안 되네 삼다래.
So that's then the meaning of impermanence, having these three characteristics, and how to reflect on it. So we start with something that's easy to understand. And here we always start with things in the material world, things usually that we can see, because it's easy to understand. And the purpose of starting with something that's simple is so that we can gain familiarity with the steps of the meditation, and then we can apply it to topics of great importance. So we take a flower, a beautiful flower. This would have grown from a seed. First, a seed would have been planted, would have been nurtured, it would have sprouted, and it would have grown, and eventually the plant would have been ready for flowers to blossom. Flowers then blossoming, they will start slowly then to wither, and then eventually die. So here, this is a very coarse sequence of events that we can observe. Within that, if you know your garden well, you'll be aware of subtler changes of the various stages of growth, and then the various stages of the blooming and the various stages of the withering. But it always ends in the plant dying. So here we can see these three steps. The aspects of impermanence. So the flower we know is impermanent, no one will disagree. The flower comes about, dependence on causes and conditions, that's clear. It changes momentarily, so we can see this to a degree, but we also know that it does, being material, it changes momentarily. And thirdly, it ceases, it comes to an end. So this we can understand easily with any material object, such as a flower. Ami drogo nang ma chi chung chung ma do yo ma da den ma ami drogo na la cha 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 ami drogo na chu ma chi lo ye sa den chung chung ma den ya de ma rim bi ya ya ni chi kama re le gyuwa chi chi pe ki ji lu gyu chi ya cha 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 den an zo ya chen bo la cha je den an zo gi an ji ge ji ge an zo ge chi drogo da bun ya da den ne ge an ne ga wo ra mang bo ye je 안도 진에 가슴 질려다 야야 철든 안 가슴 질려 안에 지게 소소게 파마디게 강화 찾는 소소다 카트진 파마디게 시와래서 매와 차야다 안에 소소게 자세디게 분야다 뭐 지게 조고다 되네 매와 차야다 또 진에 가서 지게 규르시는 바 당보 첨부다 tum부 여바디게 바 규르시는데 투야메드 카트 줘야다 소소 자제 되는 매와 차줘야다 누스네 and do to us, Chesa deso, and chiki Guarchinche, did Damon the Chunchini, Chimbo cha, Dambo, Jowa Mabale, Jowa cha, and Jowa Chan, Gazi Jowa Chan, Gazam Chilia, and Jik Meva Chayana, Soso Bunjaria, Pamare, Chazan Pa Shi, Mevacha, Soso Karte, Soso Jibu Chade, Dene Yungur Washire. And bearing in mind these qualities, or these aspects of impermanence, of it coming about, whatever is impermanent, being dependent on causes and conditions, momentarily changing and eventually ceasing. We then think of ourselves. We think about this in relation to ourselves. At one point, a long time ago, we were conceived, we grew in our mother's womb, we were born. And this whole process, as I present this, keep in mind these three aspects of dependency, of momentary change, and eventually ceasing. Because as one progresses from one stage to the next, the previous one ceases. So we are born, we're growing as toddlers, we become young children, we form friendships with probably other young children. The whole process, we continue to grow. Some friendships we lose, and they show impermanence as well. And as we grow and we age, our parents, they too, being impermanent, they are aging, and they will cease, they will pass, they will die as well. The friendships that we have formed, they will be lost. The close friendships we formed, they too cease. In fact, some of them transform into relationships of great hostility, where one can no longer even stand the sight or the mention of their name. So in this way, we see that all these aspects of our conception and growth, as well as relating to our parents aging, our relationships with others, all impermanent, therefore come about in dependence on causes, change momentarily, and eventually cease.
다 소소라이네 소소야 소소섬다 지두야 체체체 간점절라 소소 파마 분야 조고 년생간의 쉬어베네 소소님이지야 시두고래 시두디 갑라 아는 소소 파마이나데 아는 소소의 가원예고 안 지기 조고 낭자 지기 간의 쉬어베네 소소님도 치줘야요 말에 안에 지게 고 샤샤샤 줘야마도 som도 님도 쳐야 말 건조게 가지고 님도 용토야요 말 제자들이자 니네게 도시는 가지고 기지기지 교화시 간선도 시도 와서 소수게 자시에다 니도당 소수게 조번 낭자 소수게 파마간데 신의 디술바 가자이고 그래 시로다.
Looking at the first line, loved ones long acquainted must all go their separate ways. No matter how good a relationship we have with someone, how close we are to our parents, for example, they are impermanent. They change momentarily. They've come about independence and causes change momentarily, and they will pass away. Our loved ones, even if we've been inseparable from them for many years, at one point we will separate. Our friendships, no matter how close we once were, we know from our experience, those cease. So here, all these relationships that we have with others, no matter how close those relationships are, they're impermanent, they've come about in dependence on causes, change momentarily, and will cease.
제자니 니도다 파마당 조보다 된데기 가제 여번 대수기 마음속에 시에디야 가투에요 마 소소 시에기 괜찮리도 소소 조보 파마 분야 가제 지 원지 첨부 배주 첨부 여변에 대수기 마음속에 시에디 가투에요 말레스 제제 되는 인자 될야 안고 유대 kiến起来对就会고 가주고래 제자 교주고래 제자 교화돼야 가투야기네요 말레지래.
This is something we have experience of in our life, and we can observe it in the world. Some people have great power and great influence, but they are all subject to causes and conditions and momentary change, and therefore have died. There's no one, no matter how powerful or how influential, can free themselves from impermanence, because they are in their very nature impermanent, and therefore dependent on causes, and therefore momentarily change, and therefore cease.
다네 베베사베 노르제 슈두 루이스데 다 베베사베 노르제 슈두 루이스데 소소레 체델야 옹알야 지그 잘라디고 알아 칸바디고 알야 디고 지 무이데네스 고우드스베 안저기 베즈에 제시 소소 깔레 잡 체디에다 체디기 디기 주베게 돈다알야 안지기 칸바 지규베나 어데데 칸바냐지 칸바샤다 칸라다야다 칸고 고우드스 칸바땅 칸라다 무역사고스베 데네기 전에 칸바 니스무야다 데네 둘로로지나 아니직 둘로 아디 고야데 데네게 제모치도 고야데 지지제 고야 디디 구르세데 소소 마음바나 구르세 로제마다 제마 구르세 데네기 마사야다 데네 무이가 제여베나서 어두는 알 고우도 선배 왕체다 데네기 가제 소수기 체디기 야야 삼데 데네 가제 사샤베 이네야 소수기다 배신에 다 뉴뉴마다 땅투고 말와 되네 인자 다 되네기 소수기 다 지게지기 유아 친제 유된 긴예 왕게 소소의 시저도 데서 너르디기 규제라 같이 예배나 데서그 배제 땅저 소소 마시바디 가도야 말했어. 지난다 소소 시저도 너르제 가제는 소소님도 키줘야요 말해 샤샤줘야마도 된래 미다제 샤샤줘야마도 키줘야요 말했어. 제가 되네 키줘야요 말했어. 나 되네 이제 데서 소소 되바 메신도 카자는 조화디 미다바래 유어로 유익이 미다베 옹게딘 마도 라와요 말했어. 규단 긴지래 되네 되네게 사샤바 차상 되네 마 카제시 조화야 제마도 될래야 라와 가요 말했어.
In the second line, wealth and possessions painstakingly acquired must be left behind. So here we turn our attention to all the desires that we have and have dominated our mind throughout this life and preceding lives. Seeing how we desire one thing after another, no matter what we achieve, we're never satiated, it's never enough. We have a beautiful home, but soon we start to think, actually, a different neighborhood, or perhaps a little larger, or now due to the time of my life, a little smaller is required. If we have lovely clothes, we know we very quickly get tired of what we have and want something new. No matter how delicious our meal is, we always want something nicer. Whatever activities in our life occupy us, we very readily look for something else. Perhaps we want to get better at what the sports we play, or we want to take up a new one. Whatever our bank balance is, not enough. We always desire more. Here, this shows that we have not realized impermanence. Everyone will agree that our wealth and our possessions are impermanent. No one will disagree that they are impermanent, and they came about in dependence on causes, momentarily change and will cease. But this hasn't been realized. Because if it had been realized, our way of relating to these would be very different. Our value system would be very different. Because the reality is, whatever we have acquired in this life, it momentarily changes and will cease. And even if it doesn't cease whilst we are alive, when our death comes, the relationship our wealth and our possessions have with us will cease. We are not able to take it with us in our next life. There's no one who has the ability to take their wealth and possessions with them to their next life. So all our wealth and possessions that we strive with such energy, particular that have dominated our way of thinking, all of this will be left behind.
다들 지금 숨바되기 리기 전가 남시 준비 보러서다. 그래서 내내 소소기 되니기 지게 규단 kiến起来 되는 유어된 친절한 시조도 갑라 다 남규인데 아주 리디 게디 나가서 좀도 좀도 여기가 지래대 이나야 다시 들을까도 소소 리디야 파샤샤세 남시디게 남시디 텐지 주고를 와서데 리션 근데 전강나래야 미지 강라라 되베네 인디스도 미디 되 조셔데 강바데 라두고 와서 진짜 강바 키도요 마 전가 강라 제 사이언스는 게 강바 님 키도에서 개미도 와서 디나시 소소게 게디 나가도 시네 Kine mashi bardu ngāzu lū sūnyāgi dōntāliyā jīgī jībē rāngi lū dīliyā jēba shū jē chūyā dāng ānda jīg dē jē chūyā dāng dēne lū dī chūyā dā kālā sāyā lū dī māchāgi dōntālā dūlō kōyā lū dī nīng jībo chāyāgi dēn dāmbārā jīgī jāsō chāyā dāng chūyān chūyā dā dāmbārā jīgī ngāzu lū dīlī sūngyōb shū jīn dīgō rā sī ngāzu kine mashi bardu chīsān dīgō zāchīmbu shū dīgō rā dīnā ngāzu shīdū kāpla Lüdi shasha joya mado lüdi khe joya mares. Chisa lüdi nyamde yoya mar jin shasha joya des. Chisa namshi duen june duen kan na le mi due che duen mi di due zhuo de duen kan ha ba na di ji ba des.
Just like every holiday that we've enjoyed has come to an end, every hotel that we've stayed in, eventually we have to leave. So too, as we see in the third line, consciousness, the guest lodging in the body, must too depart. And again, this is nothing startling. We recognize that death is certain, but we haven't realized it. And the truth is, no matter how well we have cared for this body that we do value so, that we try and eat a healthy diet as best we can, we try, or at least we know we should exercise and take care of our body, keep it warm in the winter, cool in the summer. This body that we cared for our entire life, that does not ward off death. Death is inevitable. Death is inevitable. And that is the meaning of this third line. Consciousness, the guest lodging in the body, must too depart.
Katena de Supa Kanzingam de Kedriamare, Yomare, Deza Shasha, so Ludigene, Namguning on the Jabra Tinche, Tapoja, Ludina, Shasha to one. Chizanti Shasha to do color so dread the number she about 20 she to do. She never chago marechide. That she the god was Gawa Chimal draw, that's it. She then Gawa Chimal draw and some Gawa Chimaya Gawa Chilingo waters. Chizan Gawa Lembala. Then the lady you could watch in it. This is Setigang, sometimes having a Pamopunja, Nidu, Sosugu Gunor, Sosugu Lu, Tiki, Gawa Chimagi, Digi, and Pengudius, Pengu Mares. She said, my Kedra, Kedra, Gawa Chimal, Kedra, Punja, Pamopunja, the Lonjo, Chazayana, Vegeta, Horo. This is the Kedra Mevare. So Zubudi and Kedra Mevare. We have answered the Sugi Gazette, Setigang, sometimes didn't stop in it. Gawa Chimala Digi Yonata Ganga Segale Pengumiduas. Not Gawa Chimala Digi Yonaganga on Pengmeba and Sang, down to Gawa Chimala, Digi Yonata, Digi Duyata, Ganga Segi, Yuting on the Drupuguruas or that, Drupugurechele. Gawa Chima Digi Yonata, and Gawa Chima Yapoya Digi Ganga Sea, the Digi Yudi Drupuguruas.
You should be able to see a consistent theme running through these first three lines. That all those that we've had warm and loving relationships with in this life, all our material possessions and wealth that we've put so much energy into acquiring, and even this body that we've cared for throughout our life, no matter all of these that have taken up so much of our mental and physical energy to acquire and to sustain, all of this will be lost. No matter how great care we took of our relationships with others, our possessions, and our body, all of this will be lost. And if not lost during our lifespan, it is certain it will be lost at the time of death. It is certain all of these will be lost at the time of death. And at the time, and death is a transition to a new life. It's not an end of our continuum, but it's a transition to a new life. But whilst we're transitioning to a new life, we cannot take any of these with us. Our loved ones can't accompany us. Our wealth and possessions can't accompany us. Our body can't accompany us. Moreover, at the time of death, our loved ones, although they may have the great wish, they cannot benefit us then. Nor can the wealth and possessions that we painstakingly acquired in this life. And certainly, our ailing body cannot help us then either. All that can help us then is the virtue that we have acquired. And therefore what we need to do is accumulate the causes that will lead to happiness in our future lives. Transform our way of thinking, being concerned about happiness not in this mere life, but our future lives.
Dine yenza da ane kewa chima digi yongya ki drupu gyuzi sago gore. Chizan di gyuzi karire labna mazo kewa chima dunga yongya dunga liya maya gyudi dunga yongya gyudi da dibi lega dire. Chizan dibi lega digi paaka gore yas. Di kanga seya liya dibi lega digi paaka, diba digi paaka. Ana mazo ka drupu sin gewa drupu gore, gechu drupu gore, gewa drupu gore. Gewa drupu na gewa di manzo nyumdu shidi Kira namshide kawa chobe ne gawa sashibe gewi bacha namshi tendo shache namshide kawa chobe ne di gewi bacha de nyum du gores chizan gewi bacha nyum jodu namshide jema momba gewa le du gewi bacha ge minche jebudi diwadi nyum gores chizan geju du gores diba pang lunga yisumge diba pang lunga yisumyo kone gewa du gores de gewa duba는 gewa digi gewa chima digi yongla pengere gewa chime 강한 세계래 gewa chime digi duktu gore 진짜 되네자 다 nganzu shi jodu kablo nyam도 해줘야지 gewa dub나 gewa de 해줘야 그래서 그래
Reflecting well on these three lines will have the independence on reflecting well on these three lines will give rise to the clear understanding that we have to accumulate causes for happiness in our future lives. This is what's important. Not this one life, but the stream of lives that await us. So how to do so? Well, as it's our imprints that do accompany our consciousness from life to life, and it's only our imprints that accompany our consciousness from life to life. It's those imprints that we need to concentrate on. In other words, accumulating causes that will lead to happiness. In other words, accumulating virtue. And in conjunction to accumulating virtue, to applying ourselves to virtue, we need to cease the accumulation of any further non-virtue. We need to cease all non-virtuous activities entirely. This is what we need to do. And again, the reason we need to do it is because our loved ones, our wealth, and our body cannot accompany our consciousness to our next life. But our imprints follow us from life to life, and therefore we need to apply ourselves both to the accumulation of virtue and the elimination of non-virtue.
지상 개와 두비야디 안저기 륜아 예수님 예죄 덤야데레 륜아 예수님 예권에 샬레 네베 자와서 자오기는 지금 예선비기 개와 두비야디 개와 두고로와 개와 가두고라서는 륜아 예수님 예죄 덤야기 샬레 네베 륜아 예수님 예권에 샬레 네베 자와서 자오기는 지금 예선비 예바 덤야다
그것도 예죄 덤야
륜아 예수님 예죄다 륜아 요건에 샬레 네바 진 예바로와
륜아 좀 고성되네
륜아 예수님 요건에 예죄 덤야
예죄 덤야
예바
네바
예바 덤야서 예비 죄바 류기 죄바는 나가 죄바 누구자 파디가야 송야서로 주름서야지 리로와 륜아 있으면 예죄 덤야 세상 륜아 예수님 요건에 예죄 덤야데 수름 써야 되래. 예죄 돈 받는 수름送세. 륜아서 예죄 파 지금에 선배 송여도 수름 송아 예죄 돈 받고. 안디나시 사기에 가다 라미 가다 가위기 안 내가 싸우기는 지금에 선배게 안 사기 가다 가위 내가 싸우기는 지금에 선배 돈이나 안 제비게 디보송야 차고. 안디 돈이야디 가지고 수름래. 니께와 치마 하다 미고 와도 유래. 진짜 된 야고토에게 규체고 리고고 디사바나 개와치 말하다 미고가 도두고 규디사고 안디가라 다 륜아 예수님께 개 론주 륜아 예수님께 개 론주다 안에 개사다 차사야 건조리야 피야다 안마 셈젤이야 셈진 디기 주야다 셈지게 동아세게 돈달이야 짐바 땅기 삼제디네스 자 베주시에제 안도스 주야디 저게 안데 짐베냐면 시고래 니 인게와래 디게와 치말라 디기 줘야게 가서 류 롱주 줘야 돼 규체고래 지산 넘기가 제 냠리 다가라래 지산 데니게 안에 최고부야 메도부야 연자부야 데니게 개와 빠도면 남당 망외되네 사여로 Pandu Sare, and the Subi Yamlenja, and the Zundri Yamlenja, and the Nigget, and Kasashuba Nashing Hanazuki, Gewachima, Dien Zangpo, Dien Delia, and the Lama Givishin Yapodin, Denizan, Church, Yamle Yapon, was a Molam Jai, Dingazuki, Sedelia, Sahoy Dire, Dijeba Ina. Ninenganzuki, Gewachimala, Tata Mikoba Toya, the Dentele Digi Tuyage, Gudi Dires, Jazan Denigi Sahore, Deninza, Ditza Saho, the Kichimores.
Recognizing the need then to accumulate virtue and to purify non-virtue, because it's this and this alone that accompanies our consciousness from life to life. Then, having reflected on these three lines, we come to the clear understanding that what we need to apply ourselves to in this life is to develop the ethical conduct of restraint, where we restrain primarily our way of thinking, develop an ethical outlook, and under this influence, we don't engage in anything physically, in any physical activity that's unethical, or a way of speaking that's unethical. So therefore, we restrain our body and speech by restraining our minds. And this is ethical conduct. Moreover, we commit to engaging in acting in accordance with the teachings. We commit to acting in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha, never going against or acting in a way that's contrary to the teachings of the Buddha. If one acts in a way that's contrary to the teachings of the Buddha, it's unethical behavior. The teachings of the Buddha guide one to be ethical. And the emphasis here is on the ethical outlook, restraining our way of thinking. And this is the primary cause that we need to accumulate and to accompany our consciousness from life to life to ensure we achieve a good rebirth. And then in order to have good conditions in our future lives, we need to cultivate now a generous attitude, an attitude where we recognize that our possessions, our body, our virtue, all that we have, all this should be utilized to ease the suffering and pain of beings, and thereby and to repay the kindness of both ordinary beings and our teachers. And thereby, in our meditation, we offer our possessions, we offer our life, we offer our roots of virtue to our lamas, to sentient beings. In this way, and we do this in meditation. We also, in our practice, we can make water bowl offerings, offering flowers or mandalas, and accumulate vast stores of merit. And this is what accompanies our consciousness from life to life. And furthermore, as we heard yesterday, meditate on patience, joyous perseverance, those four causes, joining them with prayer. Prayers that in our future lives, not only do we achieve a rebirth as a human or a god, but we meet our spiritual teacher at a young age, recognize them, our Mahayana teacher as such, coming under their care, receive teachings and guidance from them, and with joy and energy, we enact those teachings, cultivating them within ourselves, and thereby rapidly spiritually progress, aiding our teacher in the accomplishment of their heartfelt wishes, namely the alleviating of suffering of ordinary beings. So these four causes, those of ethical conduct, generosity, patience, and joyous perseverance, these are crucial to accomplish and conjoin them with prayer.
Geshe Chanchu Semba Namki Tangbo Nyamlin Chidu Kabla Tu Chene Kichi Chiba Mitapa Samtane Tsedizamgi and Tsedili Shembi Wanki Chada Mosumke Di Wanki Longche Sayada Nyen Yudu Dan Chikane Shubana Gewachima and Digi Tuyadang 탈바다 탐지 김에 고방 토비에게 귤 펭귄민도스 제가 대속에 안 소속의 류디게 있네 념도 캐러야면도 균어저 가지 사바네 념도 캐러야면도 제가 소소 파마 분야 자세 인유도 가데이나 대소님도 키티에제 개와치만 디기 주야다 디기 베제타야라 펭귄민도 안 개와를 하다 미 가서 탈바다 탐지 김에 고방 토발라 펭귄민도스 제가 디니 인상 세디zam게 자와를 신제 안주기 벤조 주비아 신직 려가 신고 호 따야게 된다래라 말자도 배 지금도 파 디파샤제 다 가래 펭귄도 남나 땅 아주 개와치마 펭귄도 가래 펭귄도 있잖아 땅 아주게 타바도 꿀롱 자주심자 탐지게도나 산적고방 토고도 선비게 삼바치 된다 삼다지 아주기 류가 이숨 예제대비 수름송 안에 진배 냠는제 쇠배 냠는제 존주에 냠는제 안에 누스제네 몰람 잡다바이나 디기 당어서 개와 치만님도 조디가래 시르디 디수님도 소소 캐려야 요레스 데네단 데수기 안에 개와 치마 댄사보 사다 미고방 톱투고래 댄 델레데네 안에 롱주에 푼송소바 용투고래 안에 쉐냠래 야보지 투고래 제자 디네 인자 안 데수 팽기도 제상아도 냠는 제에 개와 죽고야디 짐바 수진 쇠바 존재 삼진 셰라 냠는 제에 디레샤 삼제 안전주 sem반남기도 제바 제제 안 제바 하고네 세디 삼제 다 현차제네 세디 디기주야게 내가 제바디 언제 개와 치말라 펭귄도 데네서 파샤제 디팔루에서 파샤 디마상 마다제 다 개와 치마기도 한다 개와 치마 띠에상보 타다 미고바 토야 된다 안 탈바다 탐지 캠에도 샘제 탐지의 펜비게 꾼롱게 삼비 꾼의 라제 다 데네게 계주 주번에 디 펭귄도 제네 누스 공모 시에제네 Geshe Thubten Rabten Zangpo Sene Nyamlen Na Vares, those Sene Nyamlen Na Jen, Koran, Geshe Thubten Rabten, Geshe Thubten Nyamlen, Geshe Thubten Rabten, Sewe Jela, and de Sosuke Nyamyong Tone, Shenlia, Lobten Jia, Shen Dunga said, Digi Jubialia, Shenlia, Pampa Getchim, Dugores, Chesan Shen to Getchim Dugores. Do Sene Geshe Thubten and Zangpo Nyamlen Chetan Dineshe, the Negi Nyamlen Sosukula, Tobicula Getsane, Shenla Pampa, Shen Dunga. And Digi Jubian, so Sugi Nyamyong Tone Shed, Shala Lobden Jeje, and Consola Shinju, Consul Yamlen Jejuadi, no to Geshe Thubten Rabten, Semja Tamju Koalia, Tara Sanje Salagoya, Goyaki, Lega Chalet Nangore, the Geshe Thubten, and Chalet Nana Dineses or Lale said.
The verse concludes with giving up preoccupation with this life is the practice of bodhisattvas. This fourth line then points to the purpose or the meaning of this verse, which is about looking with honesty at our way of thinking and what is dominating our way of thinking and thereby our physical and verbal activities. Coming to see just how meaningless activities that are geared just to the achievement of happiness of this life, such as all the energy that goes into relationships, into accumulating possessions, caring for the body, and doing so though only motivated to achieve fleeting happiness, happiness that is transitory and is and never serves to satiate our innermost need of a longing for stable, lasting happiness. So through successful meditation on the points of the brought out in these first 3 lines, we'll come to recognize the many faults of being small-minded and petty, and we'll readily turn away from the meaningless activities that are just for this life. We'll readily turn away from the strong habits that we have of having a mind that's dominated by thinking about happiness and achieving things to bring about happiness of this mere life. Turning away from that, turning away from these current preoccupations, understanding that most of what dominates our way of thinking and most of what we strive to achieve actually will not help us achieve a good rebirth, liberation, or help us to be of real benefit to others. With this recognition then, we start to give up the preoccupation with this life. See the importance of ethics. See the importance of generosity, patience, joyous perseverance. And in this way, we'll accumulate the imprints that will accompany us to our next life. And moreover, through reflecting on this repeatedly over a sustained period, our way of thinking will ever more be turned to the Dharma, turned towards the goals of the Dharma, what is meaningful. Ensure that what is preoccupying us is accumulating, is how we're interacting with situations in our life, so that we are accumulating causes that will lead to a good rebirth, liberation, generation of bodhicitta, and enlightenment. In other words, we start to have a mind that's focused on the Dharma, and thereby we interact with others, with life's events, with material possessions, with a mind focused on the Dharma. Our relationships, our relationship to others, to people, to our possessions, to our own body, is now through the lens of the Dharma. So in this way, we start to transform our mind. We start to gain experience of the various attainments of the Dharma. And as we continue with our spiritual progression, we will come ever closer to the attainment of bodhicitta, and then the actual cultivation of bodhicitta. And that is when we can be of great meaning in the life of others. That is when we can guide others with ever greater skill, due to both our knowledge and our experience based on that knowledge. So this is the way that all bodhisattvas practice in order to become bodhisattvas. So us, who aspire to be counted amongst the children of the Buddha, counted amongst the bodhisattvas, this is how we too should practice. We should take this and all these verses as personal advice for ourselves.
Dine zang Geshe Senpa namki dine ki tangpo Geshe Senpa ki nyan la du chini mi tabaya sam dang Geshe Rabten chebare dine an Geshe Senpa ki san du chale nang gores chik cheba sonrwa dine zang dela dine ngarang zuge labja karen nyamlen chegorasene Geshe Senpa khorang zuge tangpo nyamlen kanes nangwa di nashin jengang zuge nyamlen chebaya na ngarang zuge dokbe yun dine ki tu gore jizang khorang zuge cheba nashin chene dine yin zang ngarang zuge ne tsedi zamgi jawala sam matang che jiki sam dashi dine ki chebaya na da notru resha Geshe Senpa diki dine tangpo si che notru yinba si bari jizang notru re diyo da khon zuge karen nangwa re le tsedi dan kewa chima ni sam dan kewa chima ki tuanda le ya digi dhubya ke geshu yu ka na sabara sin du su chi jimba tsudun suba zunre nyamlen dini chi na sa sha dini zang ngara ine kewa chima le ya hlada mi ko wa thoya da tharba da thamje kimi ko wa thoya da ngi ne dini sagin dini chigin samje semshu ge semshu paje dini zang ngara zu ine lunga yisum ni ni je domya da ni je domya sangje je ka da ke le ga dini ki deki pa ga domya da surim soya be ma se ge chimo di chigin sembe so so na ka do chi dine ki cheyada. Ane sosuki ina lunga yusum ki kone ane chigi ya gongcho le chobo puya dan shen ane chigi ma jimba daya da semchen zhuwa semchen ki diki zhubya dunga seya dola jimbe nyamlen ane kasang shubha na nyamlen cheyade sube nyamlen zunre nyamlen ane samten gomya dan sherab ki jeba cheyada ane dine ki sam daya denga zuge 간외 지원 지역화데 예치모 차고래 니제바나 소수 이내다 지바르와 재상 디니기 개와사가데 개와디 마주기 아니 시도바네 디케야요레 재상 개와치마 핑거 디기 핑거래 아니 개탈바 탐지 kim비토 고바토야 디기 핑거래 재상 디니 장안 주길래 또베 냠레 난디지기야 털털 권에 공도 패야라 패주고래 디니 패바네 나가서 이미 Geshe Senpa 차로로 Geshe Senpa 차바 있나 나주기 소수게 냠명 돈에 샹리야 판도 개침부 주투야다 디니게 주바나 디니게 gelegele진 산조고바 토투야 차고 디니 장안 주기 이내 니토래 냠내 제화데 베즈 제화데 개침부 차고래 제 디링게 가지고 쇼게기 셰게 랍절해야지 너도세 Ningun Gyablo Shea de Anzuki, that Thogme, and Bangu Kuries, Thogme, Mapamba in Anzuki, and Chiki, 바시 용고 디방고리에서 디고 마셔야지.
This fourth practice of bodhisattvas, this is how all bodhisattvas practiced in order to become bodhisattvas. This entire text is a roadmap of a path that has been well traveled by the greatest of beings. And that is how we should relate to this text, seeing it as personal advice for us. And not being confused and thinking, oh, this would be nice to achieve, but this is advice that we all can put into practice. In fact, it's this first section of practices, of trainings, which are done in order to give rise to bodhicitta. It's these that we need to concentrate on now, because these are the doorway that once we pass through, we ourselves will enter the bodhisattva paths. So as we've seen in this verse then, we need to look at our current state of mind, our current way of thinking, and recognize the faults that come from this preoccupation we have with our friends, with our material wealth and possession, and see the limitations that this way of thinking brings to us. Because our current preoccupation with our body, our possessions, our reputation, friends, and so forth, leaves us with so little energy and time for our spiritual practice. And our mind is so distracted to these things of no lasting value. This meditation is one of great importance. And to the extent that one engages in it repeatedly over a sustained period and it arises within oneself therefore, to that extent, we'll want to apply ourselves to hearing, reflecting, meditating, and we'll overcome the obstacles to doing so with ever greater ease. And this comes about to our changing perspective, changing what we value, coming to value what has true meaning, what will last. In other words, the accumulation of virtue, the elimination of non-virtue. And as we apply ourselves to these trainings, especially in this first section, we'll see the qualities growing within ourselves. And as we start to experience mental transformation, this will give us ever greater confidence to apply ourselves ever more, because we'll know we are following in the footsteps of the bodhisattvas. But the cultivation of bodhicitta and the goals beyond that, these are possible for me because I am experiencing change. So therefore, I encourage you wholeheartedly to apply yourselves to these trainings and apply yourselves repeatedly over a sustained period. So thank you. We'll conclude here for this morning, and then this afternoon we'll continue with the fifth practice, that of renouncing unwholesome friends.